What's up, everybody? It's Classical Chris back with your next magical musical moment. Today's lesson is the mystifying, the beautiful, the amazing tremolo. Let's get started. So you want to play tremolo. You want to play with the big boys. You want to do the pieces that have 60,000 notes in them, and you want to sound really cool, and you want to impress you know, if you're one of the guys, you know, you want to impress that girl that you've been watching maybe across the hallway, or maybe she's, I don't know, in your social studies class, or in college, maybe she's the girl in the choir, and you know she's got that gorgeous soprano voice, and you want to ask her out on a date or something like that, but you want to try to impress her somehow. So what do? Well, you could play really slow, romantic type pieces. You could do that. Or you can try to impress her with some tremolo. A lot of notes. But man, for all of you out there who are just starting out in classical guitar, or maybe you play for a little while, you're scratching your head and you're like, man, I cannot make this happen. I can't play tremolo. It always sounds like, you know, I don't know, it just sounds terrible. It sounds like some guy, you know, screaming at me or whatever it is. Or maybe your tremolo is like really, really off, you know, it's not da 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 da. It's not like a. It's not like that. Maybe it's kind of like. Or it's really, really off, and it's kind of all disjointed and that sort of thing. So what we want to do today is we want to address that, and we want to get our tremolo to sound nice and even and sound really nice. So, a little bit of history about tremolo. Tremolo is definitely a guitaristic technique, but it can be done on other instruments such as the piano. And it's a vocal technique of sorts, where you have really solid and really strong vibrato in your voice. You know how those opera singers, I'm not going to embarrass myself too much and try to sing like them, but they have that that real quick tremolo sound. I'm making myself laugh here with this. So, but that's kind of what we're mimicking here, is that repeated note, to have that kind of tremolo, I would almost call it like trembling kind of sound. And of course, some of the most famous pieces for guitar have tremolo in it. Recuerdos de la Alhambra by Francisco Tarrega, El Ultimo Tremolo by Agustin Barrios. So our repertory is replete with these things. There's all kinds of examples of it out there. But what we want to do is figure out at the core, how do we get this to work properly for us? Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to try and make each note even. What's one way we can do that? Well, start slow. Don't speed up. Don't go quickly right away. Don't try to go. Don't try to do that. Start slow. If we're going to start with the most used version, it's going to be P-A-M-I. That's the fastest that we have. Unless you're on a Vidovich and you can just go P-I-M-I and just be lightning fast with that. I don't know how she does it. She's a freak of nature, but she's amazing. So, but for the rest of us, the mere mortals, we have to go P-A-M-I for our fastest tremolo. So what I would suggest is doing a staccato and legato version of slowing it down. We'll start with the first string, play, maybe just start with your thumb on the first string and move your way down and just kind of go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then make that staccato. And notice what I'm doing with each one of these staccato notes is I'm stopping the note with the next finger that's going to play. Not the same finger that just played, but if I play with the thumb, then I stop it with the ring finger, and then play with the ring finger, or stop it with the middle finger. So even if I go to the next string and just go like this, I can still do a staccato on that first string. What's very important, guys, is that you don't want to just practice on the first string because it's the easiest string. There's nothing beneath to force you to kind of be really, really minute and really, really precise with your movements. Go to the second string, do the same thing. Do the third string. You'll find with the staccato that you might miss the strings at first for a while because you still need to get that precision down. We all make mistakes. It's a learning process. Just keep going, have patience with yourself. Again, don't try to go do this at 144 beats per minute right away. Slow it down, take your time. Now, obviously PAMI, that's the most used, that's the one that's prescribed to be used in recuerdos. Recuerdos is still kind of like the Hotel California or the Stairway to Heaven of classical guitar music. There's a couple other pieces that are way up there too, but recuerdos is like, that's, when people are playing music, when someone yells, if you're at I don't know if you're playing music at a bar or restaurant, something like that, and someone yells, "Freebird!" That's what like the classical guitarists do to people. They're like, "Recuerdos!" And that's usually when you give them a wonderful gesture of thank you, and then you just keep on playing your pieces. But what you can do is to offset that, is to then start with quick bursts of speed. So let's say you are playing that, you're here, maybe practicing on the second string, and maybe your thumb's doing the sixth string. You want to work on a little bit of an opening of the hand. You're going. And then just once in a while, a little burst of speed. Doesn't have to be lightning fast, but it just has to be faster than what you were doing before. You notice that the tempo I was taking it at was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe double it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go back to normal. Just to get a little burst of speed. I realize that it feels like it's starting really slow at first, and you feel like, oh man, this is going to take forever. It's not going to take forever. It's going to take a few months. But what's a few months? You had the technique for the rest of your life. So put the hard work in. It'll be worth it. Secondly, you want to do tremolo with other finger patterns, not just PAMI. Yeah, you need to know that. You need to be able to do that. But we can use the fingers in other ways, in other patterns, to help to really build that technique up. Maybe do, instead of PAMI, maybe do PIMA. Go backwards. That can even help to cure some issues that you have with your, what we'll call normal tremolo, because you're also working in a different pattern and that sort of thing. You can also do some other types of tremolos. One that flamenco players tend to do a good bit is, instead of just PAMI, they'll go PIAMI. So it'll be what we call a quintuplet. It'll be 5 notes. So instead of just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That sort of thing. And so that's a really cool pattern to be able to do, because that's also a fast pattern. And that also helps, again, we're thinking of hand stability and not just tremolo for tremolo's sake, but we're also developing a technique of very fine motor skills. And it's going to help you with whatever you're doing, even if it's not a tremolo piece, but you'll have better control of your fingers. So your arpeggios will sound better. Your scales will sound better. Everything else is going to be edified, if you will, just by learning the tremolo technique. And I cannot stress it enough, guys. Don't just practice on the first string. That's the easy string. Practice on the second string. Practice on the third string. You know, there are pieces out there that do that have tremolo on the second and third strings. Obviously, Recuerdos has it on the second and third strings also. I've seen pieces where the tremolo is on the fifth and sixth strings. They're more modern pieces, of course. Don't quote me on this, but I believe it's the modern day composer Brian Head who has a piece that does some of that. I think it's called Chant. Leave a comment in the comments below. Let me know if I'm right about that, but I think that's what it is. I think it's called Chant. I think it's by Brian Head. If I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm right, give me a thumbs up. So, hopefully, guys, those little tips there will help you start to grow your tremolo technique, take you from the bottom floor and up. Again, I can't stress this enough. Don't try to go quickly. Go slowly. Get the finger movements down properly. Get the fine motor skills down properly, and the speed will come. This is Classical Chris with another magical musical moment, reminding you to practice and to play with purpose. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't done it already, click the like button, click subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so every time I drop a new video, you know exactly when it comes out. Please feel free to share this with all of your friends. I would really appreciate it to help me get my name out there. And again, guys, thanks so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next magical musical moment. And if you're interested in taking your guitar playing to the next level and you want to take private lessons, please feel free to visit my website, www.classicalchris.com. Drop me an email, and I would be glad to work with you one-on-one.